General Hospital spoilers, Jason Morgan's doom, the will and the guardianship war, and why we are all just so tired. So, here we are again. Another day, another looming exit for Jason Morgan. And honestly, I'm tired. You're tired. We are all tired. But we have to talk about it because the writers are practically screaming it from the rooftops at this point. If you watched the March 3 episode, and if you didn't, why are you even reading this? You know exactly what I'm talking about. The doom. The gloom. The absolute anvil dropping on our heads that Jason Morgan is about to vanish from Port Charles again. And this time it feels heavy. Like updating your last will and testament heavy. Let's just get into it. Because there is a lot. And I mean a lot. First of all, can we talk about the scene at the Quartermain mansion? Because it was a lot. You have Jason, who is usually as emotional as a brick wall, actually showing some cracks. He's standing there with Tracy Quartermain and Alexis Davis, and he drops this bomb that he's updating his will. And why? Because he hasn't touched it since Sam McCall died back in late 2024. Yeah, that hit hard. Just hearing her name again in that context. It's been over a year, but it still feels fresh, doesn't it? And Jason bringing it up just reminds us all that Danny has already lost one parent. And now the show is setting him up to lose the other one. At least for a while. And that's the crux of it, isn't it? The guardianship, the debate. The absolute chaos of deciding who gets custody of a teenage boy who is already spiraling because Danny Morgan is spiraling. Let's be real. The kid skipped school 6 times. 6? And he turned the gatehouse into a man cave, which basically just means he made a mess and probably hid some contraband in there. Jason was furious. Or, well, as furious as Jason gets. He banned Danny from the gatehouse for 2 months. 2 months. That is serious parenting from a guy who usually just stares at people until they stop talking. But then, right after disciplining his son, Jason pivots to this I might die soon talk. And Tracy. Oh, Tracy. She was in rare form. She's standing there pitching herself as the best guardian for Danny, arguing that he belongs at the Quartermain mansion, that he needs the structure, that he is a Quartermain, damn it. And you know what? She's not wrong. Danny needs someone who won't take his crap. And Tracy definitely won't take his crap. But then you have Alexis. Poor grieving Alexis, who is still probably crying over Sam in private. She insisted that Danny should be with her. Her argument, he needs to be with his sister Scout. And that makes sense too. It really does. It's the emotional choice. The keep the family together choice. And Jason, he just stood there listening to these two powerhouses fight over his son like he was already a ghost. It was chilling, truly. But here is the thing that is really bugging me. And I know it's bugging you too. Why now? Why the sudden urgency? I mean, we know why. We know Steve Burton is leaving. He announced it. He's taking a break. A hiatus. He just got married to Michelle Lundstrom. He wants family time, blah, blah, blah. We get it. Actors are people. They need breaks. He says he'll be back in the summer. Sommer 2026. That's months away. And in soap time. That is an eternity. That is like 3 marriages and a resurrection away. So the show has to write him out. And they have decided to go with the Jason is in grave danger route. Again, and the source of this danger, Ross Cullum. Let's talk about Ross Cullum for a second. The WSB director. The guy who is supposedly the good guy on paper, but is actually a total villain working with Jen Sidwell. We all know it. The audience knows it. But Jason is just starting to figure out how deep this rot goes. And it is deep. Cullum isn't just some random bureaucrat. He is dangerous. He is targeting Jason and Britt Westbourne. And Jason knows it. That's why he's doing the will. That's why he's looking at Tracy and Alexis and trying to figure out who can keep his son alive when he's gone. Because he knows he's going. He might not know how, but he knows the clock is ticking. And can I just say, I am so sick of the presumed dead trope. I really am. I was scrolling through social media last night, mistake I know, and the fans are revolting. They are saying, not again. Can't he just go on a mission? Can't he just go visit a sick relative? But no. GH seems determined to make this traumatic. They want the tears. They want the devastation. They want us to watch Danny cry over another lost parent. And it feels cruel. Is that the word? Maybe just repetitive. We did this in 2012. We did this in 2021. And now 2026. It's like Jason Morgan's superpower is dying and coming back. But back to the will. The fact that Jason explicitly rejected Carly as a guardian. Did you catch that? Because I did. And it was telling. He didn't even entertain it. He went straight to Tracy and Alexis. So maybe he thinks Carly is too much of a target right now. With her snooping around Windermere and finding that safe. Side note, Carly finding the safe. Behind the painting was classic Carly, but also girl, you are going to get caught. Or maybe he just thinks Danny needs stability, and Carly's life is currently a dumpster fire of secrets and hiding Valentine Cassadine in her attic. Yeah, that. So Jason is being practical. He is being a dad. But it's a dad who is saying goodbye. And that's what makes the scene so hard to watch. You can see the wheels turning in his head. He's looking at Danny, who is just being a dumb teenager, kissing Charlotte. Cassadine, don't get me started on that, and skipping school, and Jason is thinking, I'm not going to be here to see you grow up. Or at least I'm not going to be here for the next few months. But in the world of Port Charles, a few months can turn into years. Remember when he was stone cold for like a decade, or when he was patient 6, who knows what he will be when he comes back this summer. And let's not ignore the Ross Cullum of it all. This guy is bad news. He's pulling strings with Jen Sidwell. He's got the WSB in his pocket. And he has zeroed in on Jason. Why? Probably because Jason is Jason. He's the enforcer. He's the guy who stops the bad guys. But Cullum is different. He's authority. He's the law, technically. How do you fight the guy who runs the spy agency? You make a will. You pick a guardian, and you prepare to die. I have a theory, and it's just a theory, so don't quote me. But I think Rocco Falconeri is going to be the key. The spoilers mentioned Rocco plays a pivotal role in an exit, and Rocco knows secrets. He knows about Valentine. He's connected to all of this. If Rocco spills something, or if he gets used as leverage, that could be what forces Jason's hand. Maybe Jason sacrifices himself to save the kids. It would be very on brand. Save the children, fall off a bridge, pier, cliff. Classic Jason. But seriously, the guardianship thing is the real tearjerker here. Tracy Quartermain, of all people, stepping up. And you could see she meant it. She loves that boy. In her own twisted, judgmental, clean this gatehouse or else way. And Alexis. She's desperate to hold on to what's left of Sam. If she loses Danny to the Quartermains, she loses that connection. It's heartbreaking. And Jason is stuck in the middle trying to make the logical choice while a target is painted on his back. And what about Britt? She's back, thank God for Kelly Tebow, but she's a mess. She's grieving Delilah. She's terrified of Sidwell. She's relying on Jason. And Jason is leaving her. He's leaving her alone with these wolves. That conversation they had, where he tried to comfort her, it was sweet. But it was also tragic because we know he won't be there to protect her much longer. And Marco Rios, the guy, is useless. He failed to get her meds. So Britt is vulnerable. And if Jason dies or disappears, who watches Britt's back? Nobody. That's who. I wish the writers would give us a break. Just one. Can't Jason just go to a conference? The International Brotherhood of Enforcers annual retreat? No, okay. We have to do the death thing. Fine. But you have to admit the setup is effective. It's making us anxious. It's making every scene with Jason feel heavy. Every time he looks at Danny, you think, is this the last time? Every time he talks to Carly, you think, does she know? She doesn't. Obviously, she's too busy playing Nancy Drew at Windermere. It's good drama. I'll give them that. It's clunky, and it's repetitive, and it's frustrating, but it's working. I'm stressed. Are you stressed? I'm stressed. And the Steve Burton of it all. The man is a legend. He comes back, saves the show, and then leaves again. But he says he'll be back. Summer, we just have to survive the spring of doom. We have to survive the funeral if they have one. We have to survive the grief montages. We have to survive Danny acting out because his dad is dead again. It's gonna be a long few months, folks. So to recap on, Jason is updating his will. Bad sign. R. Tracy and Alexis are fighting over Danny. Sad sign. Sen. Danny is a rebel without a cause or a dad soon. Sue. Ross Cullum is the villain we didn't know we needed, but now hate. Whoa. Steve Burton is leaving but promises to return. Lo. We are all emotionally exhausted. I don't know what's going to happen next week. Spoilers say it's only going to get worse. Jason's departure will come with chaos. Of course it will. It's Port Charles. Nothing happens without an explosion or a shootout. But I'm worried about the emotional fallout. I'm worried about Danny. I'm worried about Britt. And honestly, I'm worried about us, the fans. Can we handle another mourning period for Stone Cold? I don't know if I have the strength, but I'll be watching. Because I hate myself. And because I need to know who gets Danny. My money is on Tracy. She's got the big house. And the attitude, Alexis is too fragile right now. But we'll see. Anyway, that's the report. Jason is leaving. The will is signed, or getting there. The end is nigh. Grab your tissues and your wine. We're gonna need both.